What's up, guys? This is Paco the Realtor, and 2024 is here. With the new year, we get a lot of new goals that we want in life, but we also get new laws, specifically in real estate. So I'm going to go over a few of the real estate laws that will be affecting us in 2024. Affordable housing. SB4 removes barriers on churches, religious organizations, and nonprofit colleges to build affordable housing on their land. The bill also guarantees by right approval for new homes as long as they're consistent with all objective building standards and comply with the existing environmental protection. In essence, if you are a nonprofit or religious organization, they just made it a little bit easier for you to build affordable housing and to bypass a lot of the red tape. All right, credit history. SB 267 limits a landlord's use of credit reports when screening prospective tenants with Section 8 housing vouchers or other government rent subsidies. In other words, if I'm a property management or I'm a landlord and I'm accepting Section 8 vouchers, in other words, 80% of the rent is pretty much guaranteed by the government. They do not want us to pay so much attention or make our decision based on the credit, because they're arguing, why are you using the credit? They're low income, they probably have bad credit, when we're guaranteeing pretty much all the rent. So that's going to affect property management companies and also landlords that currently rent to Section 8 housing and accept vouchers. All right, fire hazard disclosure. Under AB 1280, the seller of a home in a designated high fire area, that's the key, high fire area built before 2010, must disclose to the buyer conditions that will make the home vulnerable to wildfire fires. The seller must provide documentation stating that the property complies with local laws of defensible spaces or local vegetation management. This is a big one because of all the fires we've had in California and all the loss of structures and housing and everything that we've had, including life. In essence, if I'm buying a home in the mountains in a high fire area, they have to disclose to me what they're doing to limit the damage. Usually this has to do with removing brush, getting rid of anything that is between the fire and the house. There's always a space, a clearance that we must have. And a lot of these houses didn't have it. As a matter of fact, I've been in real estate for 24 years now. This was never disclosed ever. Now the seller has to tell them what must be done or what is being done to minimize that damage. This is for all my flippers and investors. This one's for you. Flipping house disclosures. Under AB 968, anyone who purchases a home and flips it within 18 months, period, must disclose all repairs and renovations made to the property during the time, the name of each contractor who performed the work, and whether a permit was obtained for each renovation also must be disclosed. This is huge. The reason this can be because a lot of investors, I'm an investor myself, we buy homes that need a lot of work. Then we would do the work. So let's say I bought a house for $400,000. And then within 10 months, I would sell it for $600,000. And I would argue that because of that is the comparables, that's the condition. And it would sell for $600,000 because that's what it's worth. The problems that people started running into is when certain investors would lie on what work was done. They would put what's called lipstick on a pig. They would actually make the home look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside it was still a pig. The bones were still damaged. They would hide a lot of things and they wouldn't disclose it. This is where a lot of these issues came from. So now what you must do is you must not only disclose what work was done, you also have to disclose who did the work. So if it requires a contractor's license, you have to now disclose that. Another big part of this is the permit part. To me, this is a lot debatable. Like, for example, certain cities will debate whether you need a permit to put a new air conditioning unit. To me, that's just money. In other words, you're just paying someone for a permit. They just want part of the cash. If you have somebody who knows what they're doing, a contractor, an AC company, why do you have to pay for a permit? But that's neither here nor there. You have to disclose all this now. The key to this is disclose, disclose, disclose. That way, if you are a seller, an investor, they can't come back and say you lied. So disclose, 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 disclose. I don't see anything wrong with this as long as you ain't one of those shady contractors or This is for all my landlords out there. So Assembly Bill 12 limits the amount landlords can require in security deposits to just 1 month's rent in addition to the first month's rent. Up to this point, I could charge the first month plus a month and a half, for example. So if my rent was $3,000, I could charge $4,500 for a deposit. This now limits that I can only charge what the rent is. So if my rent is $3,000, I can only charge $3,000. I don't think this is such a huge deal as long as you know exactly what you're doing with the tenant. In other words, the tenant is good. A lot of us or a lot of property management companies would charge more if they had animals, pets, that kind of stuff. They would also charge more if they were worried that the tenant was going to destroy the place. Well, if you get good tenants up front, I don't think that's such a big issue. Our property management company has always charged the deposit equal to the rent. So we've been doing this for over a year and we've never had a problem. So I don't really see this as a problem, but certain property management companies do charge a month and a half to 2 months. And now they're going to have to change that.